pay close attention to your local weather forecast to get prepared and to know whether it's too dangerous to go out. Plan to stay home tomorrow, Sunday. Today, make sure you have groceries, medications, and other essentials like water, batteries, and pet food that you'll need for the next few days. You can go to readync.gov for guidelines on how to put together a family emergency kit. Our State Highway Patrol advises staying off the roads in most parts of the state on Sunday and Monday if you can. This will protect you and your family and help the road and utility crews do their work. If you have to travel, make sure you check drivenc.gov for updated information on road conditions and closures. Our emergency management team expects ice and wind to bring down some trees and power lines, and we're in contact with utility companies in advance of expected power outages. Duke Energy tells us they are bringing in extra crews from other parts of the country to help out. I spoke with Duke Energy CEO Lynn Good this morning, and she's promised to activate 10,000 people to deal with this. Our Department of Transportation, along with local governments across the state, have applied salt and brine to the roads to help make them safe. And I've declared a state of emergency to ease transportation rules and aid with storm preparation and response. Shelters will be opened if necessary. I've also activated 200 National Guard soldiers to assist in storm response. The National Guard will work in western and central counties to help with transportation. They're equipped with emergency response vehicles that can move through the snow, such as Humvees and four-wheel drive ambulances. We'll stage National Guard and Department of Transportation teams at trouble spots on our interstates. We thank these citizen soldiers and all of the emergency responders in advance for your service during this storm. If your power goes out and you're trying to stay warm at home, remember to keep generators outside and away from open windows or doors to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning. Never burn charcoal indoors or use a gas grill indoors. And remember to only use 911 for a true emergency. Power outages should be reported to your utility company. Joining me today are Transportation Secretary Eric Boyette, Public Safety Secretary Eddie Buffalo, Health and Human Services Secretary Cody Kensley, Colonel Freddie Johnson, the commander of the North Carolina Highway Patrol, and Emergency Management Chief of Staff Don Campbell. Our American Sign Language interpreter is Monica McGee, and behind the scenes, Jackie and Jasmine Mativier are our Spanish language interpreters. First, we'll hear from Emergency Management Chief of Staff Don Campbell. Don?
Thank you, Governor, and good morning. As of 8 o'clock this morning, we have activated the State Emergency Operations Center and State Emergency Response Teams for the winter storm response. The CERT and partner agencies are standing by and ready to assist. We are incredibly proud of the team here and at the local level, safety professionals and essential workers who have been working this week and into the weekend to prepare and respond to this storm. We're prepared to assist our local and state partners with storm-related needs as we move through this event. We are continuing to coordinate with counties, making sure that we are ready to open shelters or warming centers as needed where there may be areas of prolonged power outages, as well as monitoring several critical infrastructure sectors for impacts such as healthcare while we know they're already impacted by COVID-19. We're also continuing to coordinate with private sector partners who are responsible for critical infrastructure like telecommunications companies and our electric utilities. To ensure our first responders are available for emergency response, please only dial 911 for life safety events and report any power outages to your service provider directly. As the governor said, today is the day to be wrapping up your personal preparedness tasks before the storm arrives. If you need guidance on your winter storm preparations, please visit readync.gov, website for personal preparedness resources. And after the storm arrives, please go to readync.gov on up-to-date information on power outages, where shelters may be open, and other resources. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. Next, we will hear from North Carolina Department of Transportation Secretary Eric Boyette.
Thank you, Governor. NCDOT, we have been preparing for this storm system, and we want all of our North Carolinians to be ready too. If you haven't already, get your emergency supplies, anything else that you may need today, as the Governor was saying. More than 1,200 DOT employees and contractors have been working hard to pre-treat our roads since Thursday. Our crews have spread nearly 2.5 million gallons of brine and have prepared our equipment for a post-storm response. Our crews are ready to respond after the storm hits, and we will plow and de-ice roads, cut and shove, download trees, and remove debris. We have more than 160,000 tons of salt on hand and over 400 trucks staged and ready to go. We are doing our part, but we need everyone else to do their part too. Once the storm hits later today and tonight, please stay home. We are expecting this storm to impact areas all across our state. Understand that like all industries, NCDOT staff and our contract resources have been impacted by COVID-19 and labor shortages. We may not be able to respond in your area as quickly as we have in the past, but please rest assured our crews and contractors will get our roads open as soon as possible. Travel could be greatly impacted for several days after the storm. Please stay off the roads, protect yourself and your families. Avoid driving, and if you must travel, please be patient and stay safe. We will do everything we can to reopen roads as quickly as possible. Governor.
Thank you, Secretary Boyette. Now we will hear from Colonel Freddie Johnson, the commander of the North Carolina Highway Patrol. Colonel Johnson.
Thank you, Governor Cooper. The State Highway Patrol stands ready to assist as we await the incoming winter storm. Our sworn and civilian members across the state are currently making preparations for what this storm will bring. Our message is the same as that expressed by the Governor. The public safety is paramount. As we prepare, so should the public. Tomorrow will certainly bring deteriorating driving conditions, and today is the time to plan. Only those who must drive should be on the roadways in the affected areas tomorrow. And those driving must ensure their vehicles are ready and they are ready. Tips such as checking tire pressure, wiper conditions, and making sure all the lights are in good working order are essential. Additionally, make sure you have an emergency kit that includes items listed on the readync.gov webpage, because you never know what you might face. If you're involved in a collision, remove your vehicle from the roadway if the collision is minor in nature. And as always, slow down and keep a watch out for first responders and crews working alongside the roadway during and after the storm. For up-to-date roadway conditions, please visit drivenc.gov and avoid calling 911 or Star HP unless it's an emergency. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you, Colonel Johnson. We also have with us Secretaries Cody Kinsley and Eddie Buffalo, but we also have the Adjutant General of the National Guard, Todd Hunt, who is with us today. Please take time today to prepare your family for this storm and follow updated forecasts and severe weather impacts. I'll now take questions. All right, we've got folks on the phone.
Our first question is from Adam Owens of WRAL.
Morning, Adam.
Good morning, sir. The first question is about supplies at stores. We've seen some stores that look like they're doing okay, others that look like they're running out of certain supplies. Didn't know if supply chain issues you were hearing about were causing a problem there, and if anything could be done about it. And the second question I have is in regards to some scams we're already hearing about from viewers. One of them, or a couple of them, telling us that they're getting contacted saying their power might be turned off if they don't pay a fee. Just your thoughts on those two things.
Well, first, we want families to be prepared, and a number of them have been getting ready for the last couple of days, so it's a natural occurrence that stores would begin running low on supplies that we know people will need. We hope people will take time today to check around to find things that they would need for their home. I'm going to let Chief of Staff Don Campbell with Emergency Management maybe address that a little bit further. And remember, with scammers, anybody who contacts you over the phone or through an email that is trying to get you to give them information about you, it's usually a scam. Your utility company has your information about you. And we want to keep people as safe as possible from scams. We want to make sure we work with the Attorney General's office on that. Do you have anything to add on supplies? Chief of Staff Campbell.
Thank you, Governor, and thank you for the question. We don't have any indication that there are challenges in addition to what we've already seen of challenges with the supply chain. Specifically, we're happy to see that individuals are going out and purchasing the items that they need for their preparedness kits. One reminder that we do have is that individuals focus on what they would need for the next 2 to 3 days and not to take more than they need in the stores. However, we're very happy to see that stores are very quickly being able to replenish as we have continued trucks on the road today and early tomorrow until the storm starts to turn a little bit more. So thank you.
That's all the questions that we have. Thank you very much for being with us today, and stay careful out there. Thank you.
You just heard from Governor Roy Cooper giving us an update on this state of emergency in North Carolina in connection with that winter system headed our way. Our team of meteorologists have been letting you know about this throughout the week, and it is upon us now. So we do want to get to First Alert meteorologist Lee Brock, who is tracking that system for us, letting us know where it is now.
Well, as of right now, it is still back to the west of us, and we still have pretty much the same expectation that we did a little bit earlier. So that's good news. The models are in agreement here, and so that gives us a higher level of confidence that likely we will see this come to fruition as we think it has been. So here's what it looks like in Charlotte. Snow, yes, there is a possibility, but that's not the number one concern. Unfortunately, the number one concern is freezing rain with sleet not far behind that. So let's take a look at what we're dealing with as we head into the next couple of hours. We have the possibility of the snow. That's mainly for the highest elevations. A winter storm warning is in effect for all of the counties you see in pink, all of the counties you see in blue. That's where we have the ice storm warning. Here's where the storm is right now. It's churning away back across parts of Missouri, Arkansas, even into Tennessee. This system is going to dive down to the south, and this model has been pretty consistent. All the models have been pretty consistent in moving this along the same path. We put this into motion by about 4 o'clock in the morning. This is where the system is going to be. It's moving into our area. The heavy rain is down to the south. The winter precipitation is farther to the north. As we head into the day tomorrow, it could be very messy for a couple of hours. Notice all of that pink. That's where we have the possibility of ice, of sleet and freezing rain. That moves up to the north as we head into the evening hours on Sunday, and then from there, it's heading up to the northeast as we head into the day on Monday. So here's a closer view. This is what we're looking at around here. I don't want to overlook this. Today is going to be just fine. It's gray outside. It's cool outside. You may see a couple sprinkles, a couple drizzles. That's going to be just about it, though. So if you have anything you want to do today, if you have anything you need to take care of today, this is definitely the day to do that. As we head into the evening hours, here's one thing that's a little bit different. We have our start time probably holding off a little bit longer. So this is 11 o'clock tonight. Most of us are still dry at that time, but just after midnight, I think that precipitation moves in. For most of us, it starts to snow. So during the overnight period, that's when we see most of the snow falling. That's going to be lasting from the mountains all the way into the foothills, even close to the Charlotte area. But look, just east of that, here's the big concern. This has the potential for freezing rain. That's what we don't want to see happen. As we head into the middle of your day, look at a whole area of pink. That's where we have that possibility of not snow, but either sleet or freezing rain. I think the farther west you go, mainly the foothills, you have a better chance of sleet mixing in. That's not great, obviously, but that's not so bad. That's when you have those tiny little pellets. That's what sleet is. But the farther east you go, and that includes the Charlotte area, that's where we have a better chance of freezing rain. That's when it falls as just plain rain, reaches a surface. If the surface is below the freezing mark, it can freeze on contact. So we're talking about tree limbs, we're talking about fence posts, we're talking about the roads in many cases. It freezes on contact. That's when it causes those problems. Heading into the evening hours, this is about 4 p.m. We have colder air working its way in above the Earth's surface, so hopefully we can cut off the sleet and freezing rain, wrap things up as just plain snow, so we can see a little bit more light accumulation for the afternoon and evening hours, and then it kicks out of here as we head into the end of the day, or the beginning of the day really, on Monday. These are the totals we're looking at. 12 to 18 inches for the higher elevations. You are looking at a really good snow event in the mountains. If you're heading in the northern foothills, 6 to 12 inches of snow. Southern foothills, maybe 3 to 6 inches of snow. Closer to the Charlotte area, 1 to 3 inches, and then a trace the farther south and east you go. Here's the thing though, these totals, this is what we're expecting in these areas, but we can have several different types of precipitation. So it's going to be kind of tricky to tell which layer is snow, which layer is ice, which layer is sleet. And so that's why the totals may not quite look like this, even if you technically get this at your house. This is really causing a problem, or it will cause a problem by the time all is said and done. Maybe a little sleet in the higher elevations, but 1/10 of an inch to about 1/4 of an inch of mainly sleet and a little bit of freezing rain mixing in as we head into the foothills. My biggest concern is right in here. It's not so much the heavy snowfall. That is obviously a big deal in the mountains, but anytime you get ice, 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch, that can really cause some trouble. That causes trees and power lines to come down because we do have the winds that should start to pick up as we head into the day on Sunday and even Monday morning, and it's just slippery roadways on top of that. So be extra careful if you have to be traveling out and about. Today is the day to prepare. Don't overlook today. 46 degrees, that's your high temperature. It will be cloudy and cool, but at least we hold off on that precipitation for a while longer. Here's the extended forecast. 46 today for a high temperature. Heading into Sunday, well, tonight and Sunday, that's when we have the winter mess outside. Only a 33-degree high temperature. As we head into Monday, we will dry out. We will get back above the freezing mark, so there will be melting. But first thing in the morning, not only Monday, but also Tuesday morning, we have the possibility of ice, that black ice. Any melting that occurs during the day, it's likely to refreeze as we head into the night and morning hours. Back to the 40s and 50s on Wednesday and Thursday, then another shot of cold air. By Friday, we're going to be back in the upper 30s again. So that's what it's looking like right now. Abby, we'll send things back over to you.
All right, Lee, I know you'll be watching it for us. Thank you. Now, we will continue to follow the latest on this storm on air and online. Make sure that you download our news app and our weather app to be up to speed on everything from the latest school closures and church closings, as well as where that storm system is currently and when it is going to hit the Carolinas. We also will have a list of those power outages if and when they do hit. We'll see you back here for WBTV News at 6 o'clock. We'll send it back to your regularly scheduled programming.